Alrighty, so here I am at my local mall. I am meeting the person who sold me the travel system in a public place. So if this is my last known recording, goodbye cruel world, but I hope it's going to work out. So I'm going to be meeting Pete to get a travel system. There you go. Alright, so half an hour later, mission accomplished. They're running late, but it was so nice to meet the seller, and they were English, and so she was talking about a pushchair. So let's see who's going to be the first little one to head out, and I'm feeling adventurous, and so I think I'm going to go. We have a Babies R Us that's close by, and I think I'm going to go out. What do you think, guys? Do you think she looks real? What do you think? What do you think? Wish me luck. Alright, guys, so I did it. And no one even said a thing. I didn't end up actually buying anything because I thought that might call a little bit of attention to us. And I kept this down the whole time. So it's awesome. So I just kind of did it on an impulse, and maybe if you're a little scared to go out with your baby, maybe if you just do the same thing, just kind of, I'm just going to go now and not even think about it or plan it overly much. It's a great idea. So I'm actually going to go back home now, and I'm going to do a details video about the travel system that I got. And so that's all for Babies R Us. Alright, so guys, I'm finally back from my adventures. I have to pull, look how far I have to pull back. I am literally outside of this room. I am in the hall. That's how small this room is, but also how much I got and how big this stroller is. It's pretty amazing. Stroller technology has certainly come a long way from when my children were small. And here's Autumn. Autumn made it safely through all those adventures, just sleeping sweetly, which is terrific. I'm starting to finally unwrap her. It was quite cold, and that was actually one of the things I was a little worried about, as if people looked very closely, because she's obviously, it's winter time, and she's in this little light jacket, and all I had over her was this knitted blanket, and then I had this over the top, and I thought, oh my gosh, if anybody really thinks about it, they're going to realize that if this was a real baby, they'd be freezing cold. But this is the gray Quattro travel system, and I'm still playing around with it. This thing has so many bells and whistles. I need to make this a little bit bigger. It's just not quite meeting there. And the nice thing about this particular this particular car seat, travel system, is it doesn't need a base, which is nice. So that makes it a little bit lighter, and you don't have to keep a base in your car. And it's a nice gender neutral color. I am going to be getting covering for it. It also came with this, which is super cool. I have never seen one of these before. But the lady was telling me that her baby was born 9 pounds and she never ever used this feature. This is, I think, like a pillow for it. But isn't this nice? And you can actually put this in the stroller to make it a little bit smaller. But also you could display in it. I'm actually kind of hoping that maybe I'll be able to fit Merida in it, because, you know, with her tail, she's kind of awkward. And so this would be a great way to tote her around. My students have been dying to meet her, but it's just, it's awkward enough to carry a regular Reborn, but to carry a mermaid that doesn't really bend is kind of a challenge. So it's got handles on the side, and maybe I could tote her to school like that. So here's the actual stroller. It's got so many layers and components, it's really crazy. It's got this sort of, I don't know, this little warming layer, which actually can come out, and it's got all these little cushions and things. It's like crazy. It's got little places that you can unzip and look in. This needs new batteries, but it keeps track of the temperature. And then there's this tiny compartment back here. Whoop. Oh, let's see if I can get it with one hand. I don't know if I can. But anyway, it's for your sunglasses. And this whole thing closes like with a, you just snap it closed. It's crazy. It's got a basket there at the bottom. Oh, and this is a sunshade, by the way. This thing that comes down, and it does unzip. I mean, literally, I've been just playing around with it and having a fantastic time. And the seller was just really, really nice and showed me how to use and look at all of these. And I'm just really, really excited. My first experience was a very positive one, and I definitely will be taking maybe Autumn or maybe another baby out. I chose Autumn because she was really the doll that helped me fall in love with Reborns. I've often spoken about my experience with Reborn dolls. My very first dolls, I was so disappointed I literally put them under my bed in their box for a month, and Autumn was the first Reborn that I went, oh yes, now I get it. Now I get it why people are so excited about these dolls and why they say they look so realistic, because I think Autumn looks incredibly realistic when I cover up her fairy ears. So I'm not sure who's going to go out next with me, but we'll see how that goes. And thanks so much for being along on this adventure, and a big thank you to all of the people who in the Reborn community who, whether knowingly or unknowingly, have encouraged me to go out with my hobby. And I hope that if you haven't, that you might consider it. Have a great day. Bye. TTFN.